Well, there you go. The Giants get the win yesterday. We got to put the stamp on it and take a big picture look. Listen, we're doing this big hit today in honor of the Warriors dominating the last couple weeks, and we'll continue to talk heavy Warriors. You got Mark Spears at 9:15 coming up, and all sorts of sound from yesterday with Michael Thompson and Marcus Thompson and Bobby Marks and the John Hollinger piece. And I just saw Kendrick Perkins this morning saying, hell yeah, the Warriors dynasty is over, all that stuff. But just a little moment to reflect on the Giants' 41-game status, because here we are, 25% of the way into the season. What do you got? What do you got? Well, first of all, you got to win. So let's put a win on. You got to call them in. We'll stamp that one. Then we'll get into the big picture here. Thanks to a 3-run homer by Michael Conforto, 4 2/3 from Alex Wood. I forgot to ask Kipe about that whole starting pitcher thing, but we were having some fun talking Schmidt and good starts and all that. But Kai Correa's got to call Rob Manfred. And he says, hey, pitch clock boy, put this one in the books. San Francisco Giants 6, Philadelphia Phillies 3.
Oh, it's all good, baby. It's all good.
Beautiful baseball. Beautiful baseball.
The Giants. Fun.
This is some kind of good.
This is unbelievable.
And there's the special that tells you Bobby Weir called in for Mike Conforto, number 8.
Bombs away.
Okay, so the quarter season check-in, 808 KMBR is the phone number if you guys want to check in. Is there anybody out there who believes, who's got hope? Are you seeing Casey Schmidt as the dude who's going to turn it around? Do you think Kyle Harrison and Pat Bailey need to come up? Or do you think Conforto and Haniger will heat up, Minaya and Stripling will iron it out? Or in that maybe, J.D. Davis continues to stay hot, Tyro Estrada continues to stay hot, and the top end of this rotation with Logan Webb and Alex Cobb and Tony DeSclafani can carry you for a little bit, Waterboy. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good about those 3 guys you just named. The top end of the rotation is not a problem. The back end of the bullpen, and Camilo Duvall, I know he struggled to find the strike zone a little bit, but he locked down his 9th save. That's not a problem. It's everything else in between. It's those number 4 and 5 starters, whether it is going to be Alex Wood, Ross Stripling, or Sean Minaya, and then it's been the bullpen, the Rogers twins. I know Luke Jackson is back in San Jose right now doing a rehab assignment.
May 29.
He could be back in a couple weeks.
2 weeks. That's my guy
So
now.
that's more help in the bullpen, too. But no, I haven't been a big fan of the long relief approach of having Junis, Tristan Beck, a bunch of these guys that are kind of in the same mold in the bullpen. I feel like it's kind of been holding back this pitching staff.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that the Dodgers are starting to get hot and pull away a little bit. But hey, some sound from this. Well, Kruko yesterday, if you missed it, was pretty frank about 40 games in, talking about, listen, Farhan tried to say, listen, we went for Correa, we went for Judge. It didn't work out, but I got all these other guys. I got Haniger, I got Conforto, I got Stripling, I got Minaya, I got Taylor Rogers. Unfortunately, 41 games in, Kruko says that has not delivered.
They're seeing that their free agents haven't done anything. They're seeing 2 middle-of-the-order bats that are hitting under 200. They're seeing 2 guys that would pencil in for the rotation that are ERAs are double-digit. Stripling, Minaya, Haniger, and Conforto. They have not lived up to expectation. And that's really, the fact that they're where they're at is pretty remarkable, given they haven't had much contribution from those guys. And none of that, but their bullpen right now is still looking for its identity. They did not have a good weekend in Arizona. The good news is Doval is absolutely, come out of the mechanic doldrums, and he's throwing the ball well. But you still have some ifs. You have too many ifs. You don't know what you're going to get from Beck. You don't know what you're going to get from a couple of guys in that pen that just are not pitching to their capabilities. So I think that, as you're analyzing this team, you can afford to be a bit more patient because of the main 4 that are not living up to expectation. Minaya, Stripling, Conforto, and Haniger. They have to get better. But, again, as I said, they're all veterans. They're all in their 7th year or more, and they all know that they can get out and how to get out of this. They've come out of slumps before. So I'm not that worried about it yet. I do feel that more contribution is coming from all 4 of these guys.
So very Mike to be optimistic, positive, in the sense that, he says, listen, they haven't performed, but that means they're due to perform.
Be positive, bro.
There it is, very much so, too. Tim and Visalia is checking in on the Giants on the big hit. Hey, Tim, good morning, man. You're on KMBR. How you feeling about the Giants, buddy?
Well, remember I called you, I think it was last week, when I was talking about the Warriors when I said the fat lady hasn't sung yet.
Yeah, she sang.
Yeah, well, she sang. unfortunately for the Warriors. To the Giants, you know what? You guys talk about the wild card. The beauty of the wild card is once you get in, anything can happen.
This is all true.
We proved it.
Yes.
We proved it in 2014, and we proved it in 2002.
Well, that's a hell of an optimistic take, Tim. So there you go. Only 2 out in the wild card, man.
So
Thanks
you're
for the call.
saying there's a chance.
Thanks for the call, Tim. Hey, Susan Slusser checked in on Papa and Lund, talked about Mania and Stripling, 2 guys who are struggling.
Both of them have been doing this, going in and out of the bullpen. You talk to starters, it does throw them off a little bit. And hey, they're not going to make excuses. I'm not making excuses for them. They need to be better. Stripling and the home runs is baffling. I don't know how they get it fixed because they keep feeling like it's close and he's coming around, and then boom, a couple more. Every time he makes a mistake, it gets hit out.
All right, hey, let's talk about Mania and Stripling. I don't know. Listen, she's right. Stripling's home run total given up right now is ridiculous. Mania, you see him out there. It's a struggle from pitch one. Like, he struggles to locate sometimes. Guys hit him. I know the quote-unquote increased velocity was supposed to be better. But Waterboy, those are 2 guys that, I don't know.
Yeah, those are 2 guys that the Giants were hoping they could have the same success that they had with a guy like Kevin Gausman or an Anthony DeSclafani, where you can kind of turn them around like they've done with Alex Cobb now at 35 years old, maybe having one of the best seasons of his career. And I was just like you. I was encouraged by Sean Mania going out and hitting 95, going down, spending the summer down at Driveline, seeing what Ross Stripling did with the Blue Jays last year. But the bottom line is they have not performed this year. And to Susan's point, there has been question marks about what their roles are with this team. I'll remind you, Ross Stripling was the 3rd starter of the season in Yankee Stadium. Since then, he's been bouncing back and forth, piggybacking with Sean Mania. Yeah. And I do think it does have an effect on these guys moving forward. Everybody outside of your Cobbs, DeSclafanis, and Logan Webbs.
Yeah, the piggyback thing, Michael Conforto, though, heating up. 4 homers in the last 6 games, hitting .381 in his last 6 games. 3-run jack yesterday. We already put the stamp on it. He was asked the big picture 41 games in.
Well, you know what? I think we've done some good things. I think there's some things we need to improve upon. Some of those things tonight, I mean, getting a few hits with a guy on second, bringing that guy home, kind of manufacturing some runs, not just leaning on the long ball. We played great defense tonight. Woody was great. It was good to see him back. We got some help coming there, and the bullpen was great as well. So, we just got to keep playing good baseball, good defense. Situational hitting is huge. Keep putting up runs, and it's a good recipe for success.
Well, 500 by Flag Day is what we're looking at right now. Flag Day, June 14th. Don't forget, June 14th.
Right around the corner, Murph.
Doing his thing. Alex Wood last night, they took him out at 4 2/3. Listen, I come from a different land. I come from the world of the win, right? And I know the world of the win is no more. That world doesn't exist anymore. However, it still means something to the clubhouse. It still means something to the pitchers. It still means something to the players. Now, I know Kapler and them converse all the time. I know he's not blindsiding the guy with this. I know it wasn't a shock, but I just wonder the cumulative effect of this over-tinkering where you take a win away from Alex Wood. All he has to do is get 1 out. Took him out 4 2/3.
And to me, it's more about the confidence you're not showing in your pitcher. Because I know he's on a pitch count right now, but the Giants do this multiple times over and over again where they tell you the analytics say you can't face a lineup 3 times. Yeah. Well, guess what? Here was Alex Cobb throwing a complete game shutout the other day. Here was Logan Webb going 7. Here was Tony DeSclafani taking a shutout into the 7th or 8th. Like, they can do it. It's possible. To me, I think it sends a bad message to your pitcher that you don't trust them to face that lineup a third time.
Yeah, and Wood's line through 4 2/3 was, guys, let me find it. We got the box score right in front of you here, buddy. That's in my pile of papers. I don't have it right in front of me.
I got it for you. He went 4 2/3, 2 earned runs allowed, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 4 hits.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's not like he's...
And he had a 4-run lead.
He had a 4-run lead.
That's the thing.
FP Santangelo sent out a tweet saying, I come from the days where if you took a guy out at 4 2/3 with a 4-run lead, there'd be a fight in the tunnel.
Yeah, I understand.
How about that?
Yeah,
Anyway, here's Alex Wood's evaluation of the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that we have the pieces. I think that offensively we've done a pretty good job, especially dealing with some of the injuries that we've had, and we've had a couple key pieces that are really starting to heat up offensively. Mike, talk about Mike. I mean, just that was pretty. You don't see many lefties going backside, for homers like that, And so I think that's a good sign of things to come. Haney's starting to swing it, and we just got to pitch better as a group. I think hopefully moving forward from here, we'll kind of start to settle in, with guys in whatever role they're moving forward, and then just have some consistency across the board and just put up zeros. I think that we've had a lot of guys throw really well, and we have some guys that are starting to show signs of life of who they are, and it'll be good. I think that we'll start to settle into some roles, and I think that we'll start to put things together, and I think we're a good team. We just got to go out there and show it.
I don't want to. I love Alex Wood. He's a good dude. He's done Junior Giants opening fields and all that stuff. But I felt like he was kind of like, if you listen to the body language in that, he was like, we're good.
Yeah, everything's great.
We're good. Yeah, no.
And that's what I was just talking about, Murph.
Like, dude, guys, have you seen us? We're 18 and 23.
Yeah, and you heard Alex Wood drop the know your role a couple times. There it is, because he's been back and forth between the bullpen and the starting rotation. Like, I feel like Gabe Kapler has turned into Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Know your role and shut your mouth, Murph.
By the way, two competing texts. 209 says, 214 says, I love hearing the postgame interviews with Tony Bennett in the background. I would agree with that. I always enjoy that. Next test down, 707. Giants with the worst victory song at a stadium.
Whoa.
That's a hell of a take now. Hell of a take, 707. 530 says, in terms of Casey Schmidt's playing time, you hate to say it, but you have to see Brandon Crawford sit more. Okay?
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be playing too much versus lefties anymore, to be honest.
707 says, Kapler's jeans are tighter than the leash he has over his players. About that there, too. And 916 says, the Giants won last night, scoring no earned runs. That doesn't mean the offense is back. Well, yeah, it does. They jumped the okay. I mean, they had a lot of good swings on this. By that guy, Bailey Falter. First of all, bad name.
Yeah, bad name. Falter.
And second of all, pitcher. He would not fool anybody.
No,
they
not
were
at
squaring
all.
him up.
And here's the thing. Michael Conforto went Oppo Taco, and he's hit 4 home runs in the last 6 games. He's starting to heat up.
Yeah, there you go. Brandon Crawford himself did NBC Sports Bay Area on the streakiness of the 18 and 23 Giants.
We've been a little streaky. I think we'll go through a pretty good patch where we'll play really good baseball, and then we'll have a down 3 or 4 games where it seems like we can't do anything right. So hopefully we could kind of smooth that out and play good baseball. Even there are going to be tough games where we lose, but overall just clean it up maybe a little bit. I think our defense has actually been pretty solid, but there are some times where I feel like we can't hit the ball, which is going to happen, I guess. But you want to try to be a little more consistent, and I think we've done a better job lately. Cutting down the strikeouts a little bit, it seems like, and putting the ball in play more, and getting some big hits when we need it.
Well, he's talking about he's describing a 500 team. Is what he's describing right there. So, God bless Brandon Crawford. He does his thing too. Guys, just last check of the text line, then we'll end the big hit and get to the cooler content. Mark Spears coming up 9:15. We still got to dive into the Warriors. 510 goes back to what we said earlier. I'd assign the win to the pitcher who had the best outing, no matter the score of the game. That would be like sort of a official scorer's judgment. Mm-hmm.
Which is fine because they use their judgments on airs.
And we would have given the win to Alex Wood yesterday under that format.
100%. Yeah, Scott Alexander came in for an inning and a third, and he gets the win.
415 says, I want people, not pieces. That's why Wood didn't sound 100% totally into it. He's just stating the party line. 408 says, Kapler once again losing the clubhouse, ? 209 says, how about by Flag Day, Kyle Harrison? Kyle Harrison by Flag Day, back of the staff. 802 says, what's up with the training staff? Seems like we never have anyone healthy. Well, Jock Peterson got hit on the hand with a pitch, right?
Yeah.
So that wouldn't matter. Yes.
And Anthony DiScalfani had a piano bench dropped on his toe.
408 says, hey, 707, what song would you suggest? Tony Bennett is gold. Why don't you go jump off the Golden Gate Bridge? Whoa.
Oh, hey now.
Oh,
that escalated quick.
Yes, it did. And the 415 goes on to say, this is the same guy, says, we're not consumers, we're community, or am I wrong about these Giants there? Okay, guys. Well, there you go. There's your big hit. It's about the Giants at the quarter, Paul. I'm calling 500 by Flag Day, and I'm kind of thinking maybe they are what they are, 500 team. My only hope, and I jock blogged about this, is Casey Schmidt and the youth, whether it's Pat Bailey or Kyle Harrison. This is the only thing that's going to get the fans excited.
Yes.
Okay? Sparing unless a 10-game win streak comes and Conforto just turns into the player of the month or Haniger turns into the player of the month. I am looking forward to Luke Jackson, though. That's my guy. And he was probably one of our best interviews at Scottsdale, too.
Praise Dale and raise hail.
Very good. All right, just wanted to check in on the Giants. The big hit will not always be the Giants, everybody. So some people going, you're going to talk Giants on the big hit? I'm out. So we got to, hey, don't forget, you can still watch us on the live stream here on the KMBR app or KMBR.com, YouTube KMBR live stream. You can see what Waterboy looks like. Good-looking kid. Good-looking kid, Waterboy.
Thanks, Murph.
So the big hit will return tomorrow. Who knows what it could be? Could be Western Conference Finals, LeBron. Could be the lottery, Wembanyama. These are the things we got to talk about. So we'll do that every day at 8 o'clock, the big story of the day. Probably going to be a lot of Niners coming up, too.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of 49ers coming your way. And, of course, Warrior drama as the Bob Myers stuff gets settled, the Draymond Green player option gets settled. All those things.
Welcome back to the Warriors Invitational, baby.
There it is. Okay, the Cooler of Content is next on KMBR 104.5 and 680, the Sports Leader.